on, everybody? Dean here with RC Driver. Hope you're all having a great day. A while ago, Team Associated released the Reflex 14B and 14T 14 scale four-wheel drive mini off-road vehicles. And I have to admit, when they first came out, I really wasn't a fan at first glance. Really didn't like the body styling, and to me, it looked like one of the toy brand RC cars, lots of plastic. Got to admit, I'm going to eat a little bit of crow. They've since done a little bit of updates, mostly cosmetic, and I've seen them on the track, and I was like, okay, that thing is pretty cool. And again, I'll go back to a lot of it was cosmetic. That first body, not a fan. The newer bodies, especially the Angaro, don't have that one. Greg still does. They really stepped up their game with the graphics department. So again, I've seen them running. I've seen them on the track. I said, you know what? The mini nationals at RC Madness are coming up. Let me build one of these for the 14 scale open class. So I'm going to show you what I did, then we're going to show it to you on the track. All right, let's get right under the hood. We're going to take off the body. I'm going to start with, we're racing in an open class, so I wanted to overpower this car. I went with a Castle Creations Mamba Micro X2 speed control. Super durable, super programmable. I mounted it on the side right next to the servo, and we went with the 6350 Castle Creations motor. This motor barely fits in here, but as you can see, we've got it wired up nice and neatly. It was a little bit of a hassle using Associated's motor mount to get the gear mesh right. I had to crack out my Dremel tool and shave a little material away from the metal motor mount itself with the way the set screw was. But we got it all in there. We got the mesh working good, so I'm happy about that. For a little extra security, we went with an aluminum cooling fan as well to make sure that motor runs nice and cool. Another thing I did, I went with a Bantan D132F servo. This is an all metal gear servo, so I was able to get rid of the servo saver. I was actually quite surprised Associated doesn't offer, or at least I didn't see it, a metal gear option from their website for this car. So that's the electronics package upgrade. Still stuck with the stock radio. It's got plenty of your basic functions. We could upgrade that later, but I just wanted to stick with that. And of course, we went with the Reedy 2S LiPo battery pack under the battery strap here. So let's get that out of the way. We upgraded the power big time on this, but when you upgrade the power, you're gonna have to upgrade some other things too. So let's get into that next. While you can't see it, I've upgraded the ring and pinion gears on here. The units that come in the front and rear differentials are plastic, so I went with the metal ring and pinion gears front and rear. Fluid-filled diffs. I got my setup for the car from the guys who run in Hobbytown in Cincinnati. They have a pretty big following of the Reflex 14Bs. So they were kind enough to share their setup, and I'm not remembering off the top of my head the fluids, but it was off the setup sheet you can find on the Hobbytown Cincinnati Facebook group page. So again, that's how we beefed up the drivetrain with the metal ring and pinion gears. Let's talk about some other upgrades for the durability factor. On the front end, what have I got? I've got the aluminum hubs and knuckles and steering bell crank from Exotech. These things have absolutely no play, absolutely no slop. Being aluminum, they're super durable. And I like it adds the bling factor. It's really shiny and it looks cool as well. Staying up front, went with the aluminum bodied shocks with the caps and the threaded collars. The aluminum shocks are gonna be smoother, and again, it's got a little more pop, a little more bazing, so to speak. Staying up front still, we went with the sway bar. This is gonna help the car transition through corners a little better, a little more smoothly. So again, we've got the front end beefed up, we've got the front end durable. Oh, one more thing. Took off that plastic shock tower for an aluminum shock tower as well. So the front end on this thing with the Exotech hubs, Exotech knuckles, Exotech steering linkage, nice plush aluminum shocks and aluminum shock tower, plenty durable. And again, we've upgraded the electronics package, adding an aluminum or a metal geared servo and the Castle Creations power plant. Moving my way to the back of the car, again, we've got the threaded aluminum filled shocks. This one I forgot when I ordered up all my parts. I forgot to get the aluminum caps and collars, but I still think it looks pretty sharp with the aluminum shock body with the black cap and the black spring spring perch there. Of course, added the Exotech rear hubs. Again, durable, they look shiny. They've got a couple adjustment holes here as well for where you can mount your turnbuckle. Didn't mention this before, we use the aluminum wheel hexes front and rear. So again, a little stronger, more durable, it's gonna run a little more true. And again, it adds a little pop to it. On the back again, we've got the aluminum shock tower and the sway bar. So again, this is aimed at adding durability, adding performance, and really just helping this car get around a high traction carpet track. And when you're talking a high traction carpet track, you need the right tire. We went with some Schumacher 24-25 millimeter mini pins. On the back, we're running a really new tire. We've got the outer edge of the pins cut off with some CA glue along the side. On the front, we're running a tire that's been used a little more bald. If you've got too much tread on that front tire, you're gonna snap roll. And again, I got this setup idea from the guys at Hobbytown in Cincinnati. So again, new power plant, lots of upgrades for durability and performance. We're gonna get this thing on the track at RC Madness, home of the Mini Nationals, and show you what this thing is all about. All right, everybody, Justin Allen and I just tested out the Associated 14B Reflex here at RC Madness with all the hop-ups, the Castle Creations power plant, the metal geared servo, all of the upgrades from Exotech and Associated. And it's pretty impressive. Definitely can get this thing tuned to the track. It's gonna be an absolute beast, but I'm gonna let Justin, he's more of the pro racer than I am. I'm more of a basher. Tell you his impressions of it.
No, I thought it was really good. There's obviously some space to improve. Originally it was pushing a little bit on power, so we made a tire change, which made it a lot better. The way it's landing is pretty good. I would maybe go up on the shock fluid a little bit, maybe down on the diff fluid, but as far as setup stuff. But other than that, man, it felt good. You know, it did the corners good. It landed the jumps pretty well. I was pretty impressed out of the box, you know.
So again, we're gonna have a class of these at the Mini Nationals, a 14 scale four-wheel drive class. You know, you've got the Associated cars. If you've got an original low C Mini 8, there's the Rolaro cars, the LC Racing cars, even WL Toys. They all make a 14 scale four-wheel drive car, and who knows, something else might come out between now and then. But Associated, you know, this has been out for a while. They've done a little bit of tuning themselves, and with all of what we've done to it, I think this thing could be an absolute terror. I forgot to mention the sway bars too, especially on the high grip track, really help this thing corner. So we really want to thank you for watching the video today. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Drop us a comment below. If you got an Associated 14B Reflex, if you do, what do you think of it? Have you made any changes to it, and what are those changes?